Howdy folks, Shell Presto here. It's October, which means the admittedly cool inking practice challenge created by Jake Parker is upon us once again. Inktober is nothing short of a phenomenon in the artist community these days, and this year, I'm diving in too. Excuse the raindrop sounds, by the way. It's storming here, but this is timely, so I'm pressing on. This will be my first year trying to draw all 31 days. There are optional Inktober prompts, and I'm going to be using some of them, but I want to use prompts because some days you sit down and you don't know what to draw. I always have a list of things I want to draw, but since I need to keep these drawings on the small and quick side, I often can't do my to-do list during these challenges. So hooray for prompts! But sometimes the official Inktober prompts are vague, like precious, cruel, or guarded. That can be great because it lets you draw whatever subject you want, but it can also be so broad that you may feel a bit overwhelmed by the choices. Drawlloweens are a bit more concrete, like Haunted HardDrive, Coffee Shop Coven, or Who Drank My Potion. Still open-ended, but you have a much clearer idea of what to start drawing when you sit down. Anyway, that's what happened here. I usually draw at night once my son has gone to bed, but with this particular piece, my mother-in-law generously offered to watch my son for a bit during the day. And, well, when you're a parent and an artist, if you get a free moment, you fill it with what you've got to do. So, I hadn't had time to think about what to draw. I had a blank piece of paper, a pen in hand, and the clock was ticking. I couldn't immediately think of anything with the day 1 prompts, but day 2, Haunted HardDrive, at least sounded neat. I started drawing the hand first, not really sure of what I was going to do. I was originally thinking of something like, I'm about to date myself here, but something like Video Man from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. That show ended the year I was born, by the way, so I saw reruns. Anyway, I actually remembered him as being made from an arcade cabinet, but I was wrong. He was just pixels. Still, I thought I'd make some strung together old tech. Once I got the concept down in place in my mind, which was after I started drawing, I regretted the hand, because it doesn't look like piled together household items. But, well, it looks cool, so I kept going. Then came the hard part. I had a general pose in mind, but I didn't know what this amalgam creature would be doing, or even what it was. I wanted it holding something, but a weapon? A person? Part of a person? That seemed like overkill, because I didn't know what I wanted on the screens, either. I went with a doll. Not a creepy doll, but a cute one. That started to get a story going in my mind, and then I decided I wanted a face on the monitor screen. So, this creature is a dad who was trapped in a hard drive. I don't know if his body is in a coma somewhere, or if he was killed, but his mind is here, and he's gotten back into his home through the internet. Now he's trying to pull a body together for himself out of technology. Perhaps he's a cable guy or electrical worker, which is why he has so much cable in his house to be his arms and legs. Please suspend your disbelief, because, hey, it looks cool. As for the doll, well, that's up to you, the viewer. Is he trying to convince his terrified daughter that it's him and he won't hurt her? Did something happen to his daughter and he's trying to get his shocked wife or friend to help him? Did he accidentally injure her with his new body? Or perhaps she ran out into the night in terror and he needs to find her, but he's plugged into the wall. That's what I like about art, that sometimes you can create a whole story without creating any details, and the picture tells it for you. I put a little black and white sitcom playing on his chest because I thought it would contrast nicely with the tone of the piece. sort of hammer home how this man does not have control of what's going on right now. Imagine trying to convince your wife or your daughter that you're in peril or they're in peril, or that you're even you, while you've got I Love Lucy playing on your chest. I think little touches like that add to the element of horror. Did I say I was using Micron pens and a bit of Copic marker? I'm using Micron pens and a few cool gray Copic markers on a small Canson Mixed Media tablet. I saved the Copics specifically for the screens because I wanted them to look different than the tangible hardware in the real world. I especially thought it made the dad's face look eerie. No Inktober art haul needed here. I've owned the tablet for months and the pens and markers for years. A lot of folks try to break out a dip pen for this challenge, and you'll see me use one in some of my other non-Inktober videos. It's actually how I prefer to ink. But these challenges are time crunches, and dip pens take far longer than good old fine liners, so it would be a folly for me to go with anything else. I'd also like to be honest and say that I will not be doing pieces this detailed every day in Inktober. I really surprised myself with this. I had meant to do looser, less polished pieces for this, what with that time crunch feeling. But I really fell in love with this as I was doing it, and the story in my head came together so nicely. I was going to do no background or a suggestive one, but then it felt like the story wasn't being told if you didn't know this thing was in a home. And then the computer needed a desk to be on, and the desk needed a tipped over lamp on it, and then the carpet needed some texture, and, well, it snowballed out of control. But I'm thrilled with how well it turned out. I'm also not recording every Inktober drawing I do. That way lies madness. After all, I spend most of my day wrestling with a little 25-pound Ultimate Warrior. Or Blue Demon. One of those two. But I'll try to get a few up for you folks to enjoy, and I'll definitely do a flip through at the end. If you want to follow along with me otherwise, you can certainly check out my Instagram account, and I'll probably end up posting on DeviantArt too. So that's it from me. Let me know in the comments if you're doing Inktober too and how it's going for you, or if you want to avoid it like the plague, and if so, why. And, as always, a thumbs up and subscribing are always appreciated. Most of all, though, I hope you have an awesome day. Presto, over and out. What do you mean I could have drawn you? No one wants me to draw you. Fine, you know what? I know who will ask.